And I guess speaking a lot of uncertainty on both sides, how would you advise the traders to really focus in and be able to block out all of that noise that's coming in and that uncertainty that they're taking into account but doesn't affect their game or anything like that? How do traders hone in on that to help eliminate the uncertainty?
Well, so, and this is not my, domain as far as, Steve would be able to speak to this probably a little bit better, but as far as, playing sports back in the day at a high level, I would say the training, right? Train yourself as a trader, right? That's going to mean, putting all the work into it as far as not just the mental work, but, the physical work. Get your sleep. You got to be prepared to make those decisions, because trading is in a way a physical endeavor. I don't mean like being on a pit or something like that, which doesn't really exist anymore. I mean, like, you're going to feel certain emotions, when you make a decision in your trading. So, it might not feel good. Like, you make a crappy trade and your body you feel bad because you just lost money and whatever. Well, you have to have your body, prepared to recover from that and do well. And if your, body's not in great shape, I don't mean like you're, like an athlete shape, but I mean, if you're not getting sleep and you're drinking all the time and this and that, you're probably not going to react the right way. So there's a lot that goes into that. So that would go into practice or training or planning your trade, right? All that stuff, right? Being prepared to make that decision, being prepared for your body to accept the emotions that you're feeling in order to recover. That's where I would go.
And I would follow up and agree with Jamie. I think we need to realize that trading is a physical activity. It's a mind and body. There's a craft, then there's the role of the mind and body. Sleep, exercise, rest, recovery, nutrition, they all impact our decision making and our risk taking. The brain sits inside the body. It's about 2% of our body weight, 20 to 25% of energy consumption. So it's a cognitive activity, so the brain does need to be fueled. It needs to be ready. And as Jamie was saying, emotions are sensations in the body. We give them labels and names, but they've always been sensations in the body. So there is a physicality to trading, which maybe people aren't fully aware of, but doesn't matter. Preparation, I would agree. I think preparation is key. And around uncertainty, Michael, particularly, I think there's a mindset factor where people need to accept up front that there is uncertainty. So you need to kind of, if you're going into trading and into markets and investing, you have to go in knowing it's uncertain. Things can change. Things will change. They will not always be as you expect them to be. And then you can prepare for that. When you're planning a trade, I think one of the challenges for some traders is they make a trade and they have one idea about what they want to happen. So they're kind of in their mind, they're fused to this idea that, I want to get in at this price. I want the market to go up or down based on whether I'm long or short, and I want to get out at a certain price. And that's what they're looking for. And I think what's helpful when people are planning trades is what I would call planned uncertainty. So be thinking about, okay, this is one possible outcome of what might happen, but what else could happen once I'm in that position? So what are the alternative stories essentially that could unfold in the market? And if they do happen, how am I going to respond to those appropriately? So I think if you go into a position already accepting the fact that there are multiple different possible ways that trade can play out, you're essentially accepting and acknowledging the uncertainty, which is good because that will give us a bit of exposure and reduce the psychological impact of it. But it also enables us to then plan for what happens if any of those scenarios do play out. And I think that's one very practical ways that a lot of people can just start to mitigate the effects of uncertainty on their decision making.